Little bit of a longer video today with a really exciting mushroom. Today we're talking about the Gurumelo, also known as Amanita ponderosa. These came from Spain. They only grow in like little microclimates on the Iberian Peninsula, generally speaking. Really not well known outside of Spain, but you can see they look like kind of like a Caesar's mushroom because they're covered with that universal veil. But yeah, an edible Amanita from Europe that I have never had before. You can see the mature guy there. One thing to keep in mind with edible Amanitas in general, the vulva here, that little sac at the base, is it will go bad faster than the rest of the mushroom. So if you see it start to get slimy or something like that, or it's getting soft or brown, you're going to want to remove it because it's going to make the mushroom deteriorate faster than it would if it was not removed. Here you can see this mushroom that's been stored for a little bit. Even in the button stage, there's a little bit of brown on the stem. If you can see that, it's kind of hard to see, but it makes them a little bit softer. And removing that little bit of extra material around the stem is going to help extend their shelf life. So you can peel them and you can eat the vulva, that veil around the mushrooms. You can eat that whole thing if it is high quality. You can see here, I just trimmed off the end because I could tell that it was a little bit soft, and the caps are really what is prized here, but the stem is perfectly fine to eat too if it is in good shape. Here's a little taste test. Big props to Mike for sending these over to me. He sent me a picture and said, "Hey, do you want some of these? I can order some. I've never seen them before." And I said, "Oh my God, of course, like send them ASAP." So they came over from Spain. What these are, this is an Amanita. So, part of the family of mushrooms that you need to have, expert knowledge of to be able to eat. And what makes these things special is that these are a very traditional Spanish mushroom, and they're really not known much outside of Spain. And some things that make them cool, well, first of all, I'll smell one. They smell like a matsutake. I am not joking. So I have never smelled another mushroom that smells like a matsutake. The first thing that I noticed when I opened the crate was that they smelled exactly like a matsutake. That said, they're just more mild. And so it's like an aroma of radishes. It doesn't have the really like piney aroma of matsutake, but if you have tasted matsutake and you smell this mushroom, you would think that they are a matsutake, except they're an Amanita. Right? So crazy. And just like a matsutake, you can eat these raw. And that is a traditional way that they might be served in Spain, along with a number of different ways that I'll talk about some of them here. Okay, so now let's get down to flavor. So like I said, you can eat these raw. And I have a little bit of extra virgin olive oil that I've infused with a little bit of pimenton and a little bit of salt. So the first thing I get eating them raw is that really characteristic matsutake flavor of radishes. Like, it's a strong radishy flavor. It's not quite as strong as a matsutake, but they are firm and heavy like a paperweight, crunchy, like really pleasant, soup, like mild, but also like extremely aromatic and perfumey and just wonderful. And if people don't like matsutake, they would probably like these. Then I have some that I've cooked here, and they caramelize like a dream. Just really get just beautifully golden brown because of some sugars in them or something like that. And I noticed something when I was cooking these, when I was cutting them up specifically, I noticed that the stems, when I'm cutting them up the stem, they stain this reddish color. And it reminded me immediately of another slightly obscure mushroom, Chlorophyllum rhacodes, the shaggy parasol. And then when I cooked them, first I threw them in a hot pan. The whole kitchen immediately smelled like matsutake. And as they caramelized, I started to get like these like notes of like cocoa and like deep roasted mushroom. And then I ate one after it was just pan roasted here. And it tasted like I still got a little bit of that matsutake-esque radishy flavor, but this deep, caramelized, rich, meaty mushroom flavor that immediately reminded me of Chlorophyllum rhacodes, shaggy parasol. So the way that I would describe these to people is if a matsutake and a shaggy parasol had a baby. And I don't know how that happens, but they are freaking incredible. So I'll eat one of these little caramelized ones. You peel them, so they grow in really sandy soil. So I peel the whole thing, again, just like a matsutake. And they're covered in a veil, universal veil, just like a matsutake. Ah! Oh! It's like, it is so meaty and so chewy and like crunchy, just meaty as all get out. Less of the radishy matsutake flavor now, and it's this meaty, mushroomy. Okay, now a little bit more of the matsutake aroma as I'm chewing, going in my sinuses. It's like it's overtaking my sinuses. It's so strong, but in like a really pleasant, just like awesome way. It's kind of hard to describe. Jeez. They are so good. I just wish that they were more available so more people could taste these. They're just so meaty, so chewy, so matsutake-esque. I would say maybe they're a little bit less firm than a matsutake, but still so comparable to a matsutake. It is just, I just can't believe it. So there you go. If you see the word Gurumelo, or if you ever see these for sale, do what you can to try to get your hands on some, because they are absolutely incredible. And I will even say, I've eaten a number of Amanitas, and as far as like Amanita villosa, Amanita muscaria, and then Amanita caesarea, I have eaten Caesar's mushroom from Europe and 2 different species from North America. The Gurumelo is better. This may be the best Amanita that I have ever tasted. It's definitely better than the Caesar's mushroom. It is more firm. It's not brittle. It's not going to fall apart. Caesar's mushrooms can be really brittle. I got a whole bunch last year, and a lot of them that I got were just fragments. And these are like heavy like a paperweight. Just such a cool mushroom. Thanks for watching. There's lots of things you can do with these. Just look at them when they cook in a pan. Look at how these things brown. They just absolutely brown like a dream. I don't know, it's got to be something with the natural sugars in them, but the way that they caramelize is just like, I mean, just look at that. It's like definition of like mahogany golden brown. So there's a little paprika oil because they love pimenton. You know, Spanish ingredients here are really nice with them. Little salt, little lemon juice is fantastic. I was also dipping them in that same oil just with a little bit of salt. If you put them in soup, some recipes show them being thrown in soup raw. They will discolor if you do that, so I like to cook them beforehand. Sauteed with a little bit of garlic and parsley is very traditional. Highly recommend that. Also serving them with eggs. That's just a 2-egg omelet with some shaved raw on top. Very good. There is with jamon serrano or iberico. There's the little potaje, beans, potatoes, gurumelos, and a little bit of the crisp serrano ham on top. And there you go, just a few ideas. There's more information on these mushrooms on my website. There's a link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.